Hey YouTube, I am back with some more thoughts. It's a little chilly out here. It's not cold, but it's chilly. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. So I hate it when I'm laying down, like I wake up out of my sleep, or I'm just laying down trying to go to sleep, and I get these video ideas, like something that I want to record, but I don't get up and record it. I just play out the whole video in my head, thinking that I'm gonna remember, and then I don't remember. I don't know why I do that. I guess once I get used to recording like I'm supposed to, then I'll eventually start getting up out of my sleep, like getting up and recording right then when I have it, or write it down. I don't really like the whole writing it down idea, but um um so I had a couple of video ideas last night that I wanted to do, but this one is gonna be about and I don't even know what made me I don't see, this is why I need to do it when I think about it, because I don't even know what made me think about it. But anyway, I was gonna talk about how God stripped me down to nothing, like how I literally lost everything. So I want to say, and see, this is why I play it out in my head when I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry, y'all. This zipper thing is scratching me in my face. This is why I play it out in my head, because I be trying to get the details of, what I want to say, so that when I go to record, I know what I'm going to say. But that's also why I just need to write it down. So I want to say things have been like since 2018. Me and my wife separated. We got divorced in 2020, I believe it was. But since we separated, that's when things started to, I don't want to say get bad. It was like up, down, up, down. So it was like we separated. We lost the house. She left. I was still in the house, but I couldn't pay it by myself. So I lost the house, and I ended up in a motel. Then I started working, and I got my own apartment. Then COVID happened, so I was in the apartment, but I wasn't getting any money because I hadn't worked prior to the year prior to COVID. So I didn't qualify for the unemployment at first, and then so I didn't have any money. Like, God was just making a way out of no way, because I didn't have any money. But then they did the COVID unemployment for people that didn't qualify for regular unemployment. So I did get that, and I was able to get a car because my truck had broke down. So anyway, the point is, after that, I lost the apartment. Then I got a trailer. That was God too, because it just came out of nowhere. Like, literally, something happened, but with my daughter and the security people, and they gave me a letter saying that we had 7 days to leave. And all of a sudden, like I didn't know where we was going. All of a sudden, like on day 4, I want to say, one of her friends, her girlfriend at the time, she told us about the trailer that was next to her that was vacant or whatever. And the dude just let us come. He told me if I clean it up, I didn't have to give him a deposit. And it was just crazy. But anyway, so I got the trailer. It wasn't the best, but it was my own space. And it was 3 bedrooms. My apartment was just a 1 bedroom. So, got the trailer, cleaned it up. The refrigerator and the stove was disgusting. So I'm like, I need to try to find something, like a used one or something like that. So I went to this place, some type of place where they sell used appliances. And I didn't know how I was going to get it, because like I said, I didn't have any money, and I wasn't working because I didn't have transportation. Oh, the second car broke down before I lost the apartment. So my truck and my car broke down. I had to sell both of those. I sold everything in my storage that I had from me and my ex-wife's house. So I sold everything in there. So when I moved to the trailer, I pretty much had nothing, right? But I was still grateful just to have somewhere to go, and it was my own space. It was 3 bedrooms, so I had my room, my daughter had hers, and then I had my office, right? So that's what I was focused on at the time, my business. So anyway, I went to this appliance place, and I'm looking, and I just applied for credit there. They had a credit thing through the company. It was, I applied, and they approved me for like $700, I want to say it was. I was shocked. I didn't know how that happened because I knew my credit was jacked up. So anyway, and I wasn't working, but I got it. So anyway, I was able to get a stove, a refrigerator, and a washing machine. No dryer, but a washing machine, which is fine. But what it made me think of was back to the basics. Like, that's all I kept telling I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. I slept wrong or something. My neck hurts. So every time I move my neck, and it's hard not to because it's cold, so I'm shivering. But back to the basics. That's what I kept telling her. And the reason I was saying that is because, for one, like I said, I sold everything, so I didn't have anything in there. We had a couch. I took one of the couches. No, I took both of the couches because I was about to sell those too. But I took those. We didn't have no beds, no dressers, no nothing. So the reason I was saying back to the basics is because in New York, when I lived in New York when I was younger, my mom, we had an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, and she had a washing machine that was in the kitchen, and we had to hook it up to the sink to wash clothes. The kitchen was already small, super small. So we didn't have that much space, with the washing machine in there, and we had to hook it up to the sink, and then when we washed the clothes, we had to hang them up all over the house. Like, that's how I grew up. So when I got the washing machine and I didn't have the dryer, I was just grateful to have the washing machine because I didn't have no transportation to go wash clothes anywhere. But, that's what it reminded me of. So that's why I was saying back to the basics. Like, God broke me all the way down. Well, I thought that was all the way down at the time. So, so after that, I stayed there for like, mind you, I wasn't working, had no transportation. The first stimulus checks that they sent out, my ex-wife got mine because we filed taxes together, and I never changed it. And so by the time I found out about the stimulus checks and stuff, and I went on there and changed the information, it was already too late. She had got mine. So when I never received it, I contacted her, and she told me she was keeping it, and there was nothing I could do about it, basically. Like, oh, well, fuck you. Like, I'm keeping it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So the second stimulus check. So now I moved in there. I had money from what I sold, my car, my truck, and the stuff in the store. So I had money to give him for the first month. So by the time the second month came up, and they was talking about doing the another stimulus check, I didn't know if I was going to get one. So the night before the night before the rent was due, I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, like, how am I going to pay this man his money? When I tell y'all that stimulus check hit my account that morning, I cried. Matter of fact, that's when I started recording my videos for YouTube, and I think I recorded a video of me crying that morning about, getting that money, because that was what I needed for my rent. My rent was $600. The stimulus check was $600, I believe. So, so I was just grateful for that. That saved me a month. I had to figure out what I was going to do for the next month or whatever. But, like I said, I was focused on my business. So then, after a while, I got backed up on the rent. I kept getting, like, money here and there. I don't know. When I think about it, y'all, I don't know how I survived. It was God. That's how it was. It was God, because money was just coming. It was coming, but I don't even remember how. I just know I was making it. My lights was on. I was getting food stamps at the time, so I always had food. My lights was on. I always had tissue and paper towel and soap and stuff that I needed. So I don't know. I just know that it was happening, right? So after a while, I got backed up on the rent, and my mom, my sister, and my brother lived in North Carolina. So when I was losing the trailer, I'm like, I'm just like, if God want me here, he's going to make a way. Because I really didn't want to go back to North Carolina. I don't like North Carolina. That's where we came from. Me, my wife, and my daughter came from North Carolina down to Alabama. So I wasn't trying to go back, but I was like, if God want me here, he'll make a way for me to stay. If not, then I just got to go. So I ended up losing the trailer and had to go back to North Carolina. I stayed with my daughter. Stayed with my daughter, got into it with her, moved into a motel. I have to tell those stories later. Those are separate stories. But moved into a motel. Then moved back in with my daughter, me and my mom, sleeping in a twin bed, me and my mom in my daughter's house. Then my mom went to New York with my grandma because she was disabled. She was waiting for her disability. She was really sick. She's been sick for years, and they never knew what was wrong. She just kept getting worse and worse, so she was waiting for disability. So she went back and stayed with my grandma, and I got me another motel room, by myself, just me and my dogs or whatever. I got a job working next door to the motel, so I was able to walk to work. So it was perfect. Like, I was right there. Walk. It took me like 2 minutes to walk to work. It was literally right next door and walk back. So that was perfect for me. I had my own little space, my dogs. That was perfect for me for the time being. So then my sister ended up buying a house because we were all homeless, me, my mom, and my sister. I'll tell that story later too. But my sister ended up buying a house, so I went to stay with her and my mom. And my daughter ended up being put out, so I ended up giving her the motel. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, since me and my ex-wife separated, it's been pretty like touch and go. Like, I've been all over the place, but it was never this bad, right? This past year, and I said this in one of my other videos, this past year I lost everything. Literally lost everything. I lost my car. I lost my mom. I lost my dog. I lost my storage in North Carolina that had all of my clothes in it, all of my equipment for my business, all my materials, everything I had besides the stuff, because I got stuff in storage down here in my dad's storage. Like, my photo album stuff, like pictures and, stuff that I didn't need to live at the moment. That's down here. But the stuff that I had up there with me was stuff that I needed, that, I was using, like another pair of glasses, jewelry, like, my stuff. Like, I lost everything, and I try not to think about it because it's gone and I don't need to dwell on it, but it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, yesterday I was trying to think of something I could pawn to get some money because I don't have money. And I thought about my chain that I used to wear, and it was in my storage. So, yeah. It's like every time I think about something that I need that I don't have, it was in the storage, and it just hurts every time I think about it because I lost everything. Everything. So, I was saying that to say, God stripped me all the way down. Like, this is rock bottom. Like, I'm grateful to be staying here with my dad, but that man makes it impossible to be here. Like, he makes me feel like crap, and it's because he's miserable. But like, he don't have no problem expressing how he don't want us here, me and my daughter. How, he should be living in a 1-bedroom by himself, and he's too old for this, and this, that, and the third. Now, I was going to do a video about him the other night, but I hadn't done it yet. But my mom took care of me, my sister, and my brother. I'm his child. I'm his child with her. My sister and brother have a different father, but my mom took care of 3 of us. Had 2-3 jobs sometimes, and was going to school. She never, ever complained. Ever. Never, ever. Like, this man, we've been with him for 6 months. 6 months. And he been complaining since we got here, like, every day. And it's not even like we're doing anything for him to complain about. He just don't want us here. And he keeps saying, he been living alone for a long time. But, okay, I'm your daughter. This is your granddaughter. Like, we are having a hard time right now. Anyway, like I said, that's a whole nother video. But God stripped me down, took everything from me. I lost everything, but I still have my faith. And the show that I keep talking about to y'all, it's called The Chosen. I learned in that show, because I think it was Solomon and Thomas. I can't remember the names, but some a few things happened in the show, and they were wondering why he couldn't help them the way he was helping everybody else. Like, he was going around giving people miracles and healing people and doing stuff for people, bringing people back to life and stuff like that. And they were his disciples, they were following him, so they seen all of this. So when it came down to them needing help and he didn't do it, they couldn't understand why. And they got mad at him, and they were hurt. They were really hurt. And what he said was, I forget when he said it. I don't know if it was to Solomon or Thomas. But what he said was, my Father tests you to see how strong your faith is, to see if you will still follow if you don't get what you want, basically. Like, if things are bad, are you still gonna follow faithfully, right? And it was hard for them to understand that, but that's how I feel now. Like, I get it, and I ain't gonna lie, I was mad at God, not cursing at him or not believing in him or nothing like that, but I was mad when I lost my storage. I'm like, why do I have to lose everything? Like, this is beyond me right now. But I know that it's not for me to understand, and I know there's a reason for it. And like I said, I lost everything but my faith. And it's just crazy because it hurts. It hurts. My mom, my dog, and my storage hurt the worst. My car, I was upset about that, but it's just like when, when, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And I know our time is not his time, and in the show, that's what he kept saying. Like, he used to tell them, he used to always say, soon. And so after the first season, when he would say soon, everybody would start laughing, because it's like, they made a joke about it, like, when is soon? Like, that word soon, when is soon? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm feeling. Like, I know it's coming. I just don't know when. But I know it's going to change and it's going to turn around, because I still have my faith. It's hard. It's so hard. It's hard. And you laugh to keep from crying about it, but you got to keep your faith. You have to. And not once did I, in all of these years since I separated from my ex-wife, not once did I lose sight of him. Actually, I got closer to him. Like, I started after we separated and got the divorce and I got the apartment. That's during COVID, when we were all trapped in the house. During that time, that's what I used that time for. I had to relearn myself. I had to get to know me. I had to get to know God. I had I had to build a relationship. I was looking for my purpose. That's when I did all of that work. So I actually got closer to him. And there's another movie that I watch. I actually watch it every day. Now, I watch these movies because they give me hope. They're hopeful movies. They're feel-good movies. So I watch them to keep me in the same state of mind that I need to be in. So this movie is called for the love of Ruth. Now, when I first seen the movie, I did not know it was a Bible story. I didn't know. I watched it, and it was a really good movie, so I just kept watching it. But then I was listening to a video the other day, and she mentioned Naomi and Ruth. Oh no, was it? Yeah, Naomi and Ruth. Yeah. Except the guy's name is Boaz, I want to say, but in the movie his name is Braxton, I think. But anyway, it's the same, Bible story that they were talking about, and I've actually heard 2 references of it in 2 separate videos since that video, but I didn't know that excuse me, that's what the movie was. But anyway, so in the movie, after Naomi's sons died, her husband had died, they lost their house due to a storm, and they had moved away. And then after her sons died, she was telling her daughter-in-laws, both of them, that because they were all living with her, so she was telling them, I'm going back home, I'm going back to Savannah, and y'all need to go and live y'all lives. Y'all are still young, y'all can still have kids and get married and everything like that. So one of the girls left. No, so the girl that, okay, so one of the girls, she said to Naomi, she was like, who's going to take care of you? Like, we need to go with you. Who's going to take care? Because she was sick. I think she had cancer. So she was like, who's going to take care of you? And Naomi was like, God will, just as he's always, always has, or whatever. And she was like, you still believe in that? You still praying to God, and he's taking everything away from you. He took your husband, he took your sons, and he took your health, and you still believe in. And she was like, that's not going to make me run away from him. That's going to make me, pull closer to him, because that's all I know to keep me sane, basically, is what she was saying. So anyway, that girl ended up leaving, but Ruth told Naomi that she was going with her because she wanted to be with her, because she was an orphan child and she didn't have family, and that was her family. So she ended up going with Naomi. It was a beautiful movie, but it's on Tubi. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'm losing everything, but it's like, the more I lose things, the stronger my faith gets. And it's so crazy, because years and years ago, I would be looking at me like, what are you talking about? Like, are you crazy? Like, how are you not losing your mind right now? Like, you're losing everything, and you're still, holding on to God's word. But now I get it. And I know it's not from my understanding. And I'm literally like, I'm not going to say I'm in hell, because I'm grateful to have somewhere to sleep and have water to wash with. But like, we have no food. My dad, he's like, I think he's like trying to, like, he won't buy food, tissue, nothing like that. And it's so hard for me to get a ride from him to go anywhere, like, because he only has the one car. His truck broke down. So supposedly he got that car for me so I can get back and forth to work. But then he took it from me, and his truck broke down. So now that's the only vehicle we have. And so, like, I was going back and forth to Plasma to make, the little bit of money I could to get stuff that I needed, necessities, soap pads, stuff like that. But he done moved us up to the country, and it's nothing out here. And he takes the car, and he's gone all day. And every time I call him, like right now, I'm calling him to see if he can take me to Plasma, because I need to get some type of food in here. We don't have, like, I literally ate the last cup of noodle that I had this morning. I don't know what I'm going to eat. It's just, so I'm not going to say I'm in hell, because I'm grateful, but I'm like, God, okay, like, what are we doing now? What's happening here? like, what do you want me to do? I had a job interview last Saturday. I asked him to take me. He never came. I had to reschedule it. And then I got sick, so I didn't. And then My sister, I was talking about going back to stay with her in North Carolina because she needs help up there. She's sick and not taking care of herself, and she got my mom's stuff out of her storage, so I need to go through that stuff because she's not going to do it. So I was literally just sitting here thinking about like just going back up there. Even though I don't want to be there, I was just thinking about just going back and staying with her for a little bit, working up there, and then, by the time I come back down here, I should be able to just get my own place, because my dad is just unbearable. When I tell y'all, I don't do nothing. I stay in the room. I don't come in the kitchen. We have a bathroom on our side, thank God, and he has his own bathroom in his room. So when he's in the house, I don't come out the room. When he walks in the door, I can feel his energy is just, it turns my stomach. And that's so sad to say, but it's like my sister's house in North Carolina or here. And my sister, she acts like him too. I don't know how that's not his biological child, because she acts just like him, but she's nowhere near as bad as him. I never knew it was this bad before with my dad, because I never had to stay with him before. So I was seeing the fake him that everybody else sees. Now I'm seeing the real him. And this is just unbelievable. But that's, like I said, another video, that's besides the point. Point is, he stripped me all the way down, bare, butt booty naked. Like, I literally have like 4 pairs of pants, I think. And, the stuff that I was able to grab with me when I left North Carolina after my mom passed. Thank God I didn't put none of her stuff, her ashes and her blanket and stuff that was made. Thank God I didn't put none of that in my storage, because I would have lost that. I have her ashes with me. And the blanket that the funeral home made, I have that with me. So I'm grateful for that. And a little bit of clothes that I grabbed, which is literally in one bin. But I know soon is coming. Soon is coming. It has to. So today I had rescheduled the interview. I went today as I had got sick, so I didn't call them back until a couple of days ago. Well, they texted me and asked me if I was still interested. And it's right down the street. I didn't want to go too far because I don't like depending on people for rides. And I already see how he is, with taking my daughter to work. And he's complaining about us. Anyway, I didn't want to go nowhere far. So I took what was up the street, which is, I know I can walk there if I have to. And it was Pizza Hut. So I had the interview today, and I asked him about it yesterday. He said he had something to do. He never asked me what time the interview was or nothing, because I actually had a few other things I wanted to do. So he never asked me what time it was, and he left this morning around 10. My interview was at 12. So I tried to call him. He didn't answer the phone. I asked the neighbor if they could take us. He said his uncle had the car, so he couldn't take us. So I'm just sitting here like, I'm going to Charlotte. Like, I'm going back to North Carolina because this is ridiculous. And as I'm sitting here, the neighbor called back, and he was like, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm sitting outside on the porch. He was like, "Okay, I got somebody to take you. He's coming down the street now." I was like, thank God, because I really was just about to say, I'm about to get on the train and be in North Carolina tomorrow because I can't deal. So I got the job, and it's right up the street, like I said, so I could walk if I need to. It's just cold as hell, but if I have to walk, I will walk. I just need some money coming in because I need to get the fuck out of here. I really don't like that they get paid every 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks be seeming like forever, especially when you broke. But I'm just grateful that I got it. And I'm sitting here waiting for him to come back to see if he'll take me to Plasma so that I can get a couple of dollars so that I can go get some food. which is really not going to be food. It's going to be like tuna and noodles, because that's all, you know, I could really afford with the little $50 I'm going to get from Plasma. Plus, I also found a program that helps with medication. And I was saying before in the other videos that, you know, I found out I have the blood clots back in my lungs and I need to be taking the blood thinners, but my insurance doesn't start till January 1st. So I've been really nervous about that. So I found a program that helps, you know, with medication. But the lady told me I have to come with my ID before 4:30. So I told him about that too yesterday. Again, he didn't ask me no questions. He didn't say if he was going to be back before 4:30. He told me he didn't have to work. So I'm like, okay, he should be back. But this is what I'm saying. Like, it's just ain't nothing but the devil. That's all it is. He got a spirit on him. That's all that is. But I'm just grateful. So the moral of the story is keep your faith. Don't let anything cause you to lose sight of God. Don't let anything cause you to lose your faith. Keep your faith. You got to hold on to that, because soon will come. Soon will come. We don't know exactly when, and that's the hard part, but soon will come. It will. Okay, that's it. I'm done. It's cold out here. I'm about to go inside. I plan on doing another video today, probably a little later. But yeah, soon will come. Keep the faith.